up, YouTube? Welcome back to Cool Talk. Come on in and kick it with us for a minute.
And before we get started, these guys to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time we upload, you'll be the first to notice.
That's what's up. All right, man. Today it's gonna get a little deep, a little thick.
Yeah, a little serious.
We ain't gonna get too heavy, but we gotta talk about abusive relationships.
Wow, very serious conversation. A lot of this stuff goes on
Both ways.
both ways.
Both ways. You know, you got a lot. I mean, it ain't just when you say abusive relationships, people just be like, they think about
Domestic,
and a man hitting a woman.
yeah, but
That's shallow. You gotta dive deeper into that.
you gotta go way deep because women can dish it out too.
Man, they can dish it out
For real.
physically too.
So what's the different types of abusive?
But obviously, the first one come to mind is physical abuse, going upside each other's head.
Yeah,
You know, but then it's verbal abuse.
the verbal is, I think, almost worse than physical.
I know, because
You can heal from the physical.
you can heal from physical, but then it's still, and then it's a psychological abuse.
Ooh,
Psychological abuse might be like the worst, because then you got
That's long term.
That's control, like that's
Yeah.
mind control and all of that,
All
like
that shit.
wrapped into it.
man.
But see, the physical abuse is more like it's something wrong with that person. Like that person hurt, so they way of dealing with that is hurting other people, like physically. You know what I mean?
Like when I see that shit, like when men do it, I always look at them as straight cowards,
Suckers.
like straight suckers. Because when they approached by a man, they don't knuckle up on a man.
They at least think twice.
They think more than twice.
Yeah, and then if they normally, from my experience,
Yeah,
when they do square up, it don't end well.
it don't end well. Then they go home and beat their woman up.
Mm-hmm.
Or like when it's physical, it's a real short leash in those type of relationships. Because the person that's giving out the physical is really like hair trigger with it.
When you don't know what to say,
Yeah.
what you can say, what's gonna set them off.
Yeah,
And the man part, I'll be like, man, you a sucker. Everybody look at the man as a sucker, but
yeah.
then when the female do it,
When a female do it,
it's always different.
the man still get looked at as a sucker though.
He still get looked at as a sucker. Like, how you gonna let that happen to you?
That's the sad part about it. Like the men that don't hit women don't hit women.
Just don't. And even if you get it,
Yeah, and then that word love comes
Love.
into it,
love.
makes you want to stay through a physical
Oh yeah.
abusive relationship.
Let me say this to the camera real quick.
Yeah,
Ladies, man's skin is made up of the same stuff yours is made up of. Stop telling the man it don't hurt when you hit him.
That
His
shit
skin
hurt.
got nerves running through his body just like you. That ain't even funny.
it ain't
But
fun.
back to the subject. I just had to get that off.
But that's true though.
That's true though. Like,
very true.
That don't hurt. You strong. What strong got to do with pain?
Nothing.
Nothing. So stop doing that. It's not cute and it's not funny, and you immature and you childish, and you need to stop it.
And every man has a breaking point, and he will use that strong shit on you if you keep messing with him.
You keep on hitting him. You gonna see how strong he is.
Yeah.
You hit him that one time hard, and then he knee jerk on your ass, and now you crying.
Yeah.
But then let's go to verbal abuse.
Yeah.
Verbal abuse is more like that's just tearing the person down. Like,
Yeah. When y'all get in arguments, it goes to straight low blows. You ain't this, F you that.
you don't nobody else want you.
Don't nobody want you.
Everybody thing get little.
Oh yeah.
Everybody got a little thing now.
Everybody D get little when they mad at you.
Yeah, it's not the same size as it was last week.
Nah, you know you just had it, but you know.
And then the other way around, all of a sudden she ugly and she a hood rat. She a hoe now she a hoe.
Everybody cheating.
You cheating.
Yeah, it's just
Low blows and just looking to hurt the other person as much as possible.
as much as possible.
And that's whack too, because that's the thing about the verbal abuse is all them words start chopping away at your relationship like an oak tree. Like it don't feel like the tree about to collapse, but man, every time them words come in,
Man,
every time them hurtful words come in, boom, you chop another piece away.
it starts to get old.
Yeah, and you start getting numb to
You
it.
get numb to it, and eventually it's gonna another situation where somebody's gonna blow up again.
Mm-hmm. Somebody gonna use that B word. Once that B word come out, it don't go back.
Nah, it don't
Once
go
that
back.
B word come out, it's in the relationship now.
Because with the verbal abuse, like you kind of start to lose respect for your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Once you continue to hear it, like all this stuff has a matter of time before that boiling point comes, and then it's just
Now you having to call each other bitch contest.
man, and
Then that's where you at now.
And then the verbal can lead to physical.
Usually.
Yeah. So, oof,
But it's not psychological.
man.
Having control over another. Why would you? First of all, why would you want control over a person? Why do you want to be with somebody that you could control anyway?
Control issues.
Control issues.
Because you have no control of your own life.
Yeah, there we go. You just hit it. Ding. Hey, cue the ding sound right there.
Man.
You just hit it. You ain't got no. You lack control in every other aspect of your life, and this is the one thing you think you can control, and you get extreme with it.
Extreme, like, ooh, a little bit too extreme.
You can't go here without me. You can't do this without me. Where you going? Oh, no, you can't. And telling other people what your spouse can't do.
Answering for him.
Or and then you get to the point where somebody asks him or her a question, and they look at the other person.
And they gotta look at the other
person for the answer.
Man,
That's psychological abuse right there. You got to get out of that.
Get out of that. Wow.
You being controlled. You a Manchurian candidate.
For real, as a grown person, you should never have to ask another grown person, could you do this? Can I?
And should no grown ass person be able to have the strength to have the power to tell you
For real.
what you can and cannot do?
The only way you will ask those questions out of respect of your relationship. That's the only way. But not because I don't want to make her mad. Let me see. Oh wait, hey, you know what I'm saying? Don't tuck your tail.
Don't tuck your hey. You know how they say choose your battles? Choose your battles don't mean cower every time it's some conflict. It means decide which fights is important. And when you being controlled, you gotta get control of yourself. Those fights is important.
Man, that's psychological once again.
So now let's compartmentalize this. Let's break this down to why the victim stays in that abusive relationship.
Because they think that's love, a form of love.
Don't know nothing better.
Scared to leave.
Scared to be single. Because you didn't have somebody next to you every night, and you don't know what that first lonely night finna be like, or them lonely nights.
I know it's gonna be peace.
You ain't got nobody yell at or yelling at you or
going inside your head, calling you a man.
calling you everything in the alphabet. But that ain't what they see. They see fear.
Yeah, it's fear, and they still think that's a form of love. Like, it's crazy. That's the only love they know. Yeah, because I done ran across a lot of women, not a lot, but enough to know that these women are sick in the head now.
Man. Especially the ones coming that you get the damaged ones out of the abusive relationship. They looking for it.
They looking for it, and they turn into
the abusers.
The abusers, like the psychological ones, though.
Yeah, the psychological ones.
Now,
because they ain't had control. They done sat in that relationship so long when they should have been out. That they've been out. They have lost. They had no control over their life for so long. Somebody else had control of it, and now they get to that point where they saying never again.
Never again. So they want to get every win that they didn't get off the last one.
And now you getting you taking L's that he should have took or she should have took, and that's how and then it flip around on you
bleeding
like that.
On the wrong person.
And so why they stay now. And then on the flip side, there is family members and friends that see the shit from the outside, and always think they can save the situation. Like how can I help? What we gonna do to get him out of here? What we gonna do to get her out of this? Man, he over there letting her do this. She over there letting him do. She telling him this in front of her. And everybody, family members and friends be like, man, we gotta save him.
Yeah,
that's wrong.
There's no saving them.
You can't save them.
They
don't want to be saved. Because they gonna come to you with the problem.
Yeah.
They gonna tell you everything about what's going on. You gonna develop a feeling towards that person.
Right.
And then guess what's gonna happen at the end of the day when they make up? You a hater.
You're a hater, and they gonna distance themselves from you.
And now you cut off. You
Yeah.
cut off for trying to save them, and the water splashing, begging for a life raft. You throw them a floaty, and then they popping and call you a hater.
That's why you gotta stay out of people's relationships. I mean, give them advice when they're seeking advice, but don't try to save them, because that's something they gotta want at the end of the day.
Until they done had enough,
Yeah,
they ain't going nowhere.
they ain't gonna know where.
And it's gonna be only them that can get them up out of there.
Don't take on the emotion of that relationship or nothing. You just gotta just be an open ear, shoulder to lean on when they need it. But other than that,
And then get about their business.
yep, don't hop in. Don't try to save them.
And then if it's getting, and also don't be they dumpster either to come in and keep on telling you about the same thing they not doing nothing about.
Exactly.
Eventually, love yourself enough to be like, you know
what
what?
you gonna do?
Leave me out of this. If you ain't gonna do nothing about it, stop talking to me about it.
For real.
And then the big one,
Yeah.
as the abusee, how do you get out? Got a little quiet there, didn't it?
Kind of the same thing.
Number one, you gotta love yourself. First thing, just stop figuring out how to just jump out and first realize that you here because you don't love yourself enough.
Yeah.
Like you don't have enough love in yourself, so you think you deserve this.
Mm-hmm.
You done convince yourself you deserve this, or that person convinced you deserve
Because you notice, like, the person that's getting abused do tend to make excuses on why it's happening.
Mm-hmm. I know I shouldn't have said that. If I wouldn't have said that, then everything would have been cool.
Exactly.
But you just stood up for yourself. Why shouldn't you be able to do that? You know what I mean? But you gotta first value yourself more. And once you value yourself more, it's just some shit you ain't gonna put up with.
Yeah, enough is enough. That's what you're gonna tell yourself.
Yep. And then Tina in the limo.
For real. It's really as simple as that. You just gotta get to that point of putting yourself first, loving yourself again, and just saying enough is enough. Because can't nobody do that for you.
You gotta ask yourself, what's love got to do with it?
Exactly. Because
You feel me?
secondhand emotion in a relationship.
Secondhand emotion. Love is a verb. And love is a verb.
For real. But loving yourself should be always at the top.
So yeah, that's about as deep. That's all we know about it. Like I said all the time, we ain't no psychologists, we ain't no therapists, we ain't licensed to talk to you about this. If it don't work, don't send us no emails yelling at us about what's happening in your life, because we just giving you advice based on our experiences.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you can keep on doing what you're doing or try something new.
See how that goes.
See how that go.
But before you get up out of here, I'm gonna need you guys subscribe once again, share this video,
And if you liked it, hit the like button. I know you liked it. Just go on and hit it, man. Ain't nobody gonna judge you.
and comment how you feel about it. Tell us how you feel about the topic.
And if you have any questions for us, man, that you want us to talk about, go ahead and send them in through our DMs on our social medias, or right here, or right there in the comment section. We'll be sure to go ahead and get you a little video, let you answer your questions. We'd be happy to.
All right, see you.